This story is from one of our audience, and it is about his encounter with the Nenek Keropok ghost. Let's go. I stay in the east, and there was a time there was a rumor about an old lady selling crackers at night called Nenek Keropok. This story happened to me a long time ago. Everything was normal every day. I came back from school, showered, studied, played games. Sometimes I come back home late from school to play soccer with my friends. But it was this particular evening when it all started. I was at home alone in the living room watching TV and munching on some snacks when suddenly I heard someone knocking on my door and greeting. I opened the door and replied, thinking maybe it's my mother's friend, as she sometimes dropped by asking me where is my mother. But when I opened the door, I was a bit shocked to see an old lady in front of my front door wearing full black and a headscarf, also carrying some keropok. The lady asked if I would like to buy some keropok. Her voice was quite raspy and she looked a bit weird. I kindly declined and she said, help her purchase some. I said no, I don't want it. Suddenly, she asked me, how about your friend behind you? Does she want it? I said, what friend? As I'm at home alone. She suddenly laughed a bit and mumbled something under her breath. I quickly slammed the door shut and made my way back to the sofa to chill and watch my TV. My parents usually come back at around 11 p.m, but it's still a long way as the time was only 7:20 p.m. in the evening. At that point, I already have chills down my spine, thinking about the old lady saying that I had a friend behind me. While sitting on the sofa and my thoughts getting carried away, thinking about the encounter with the Nenek Keropok, I suddenly heard sounds of footsteps walking behind me towards the kitchen. A bit frightened, I tried my best to ignore it and continued watching the TV. Suddenly, sounds of people knocking on my door can be heard. So, I stood up and walked towards my door and opened it. What's terrifying is that no one was there, but a very strong cold breeze hit me. I quickly closed the door shut, and when I turned around, I heard sounds of girl crying coming from the kitchen. Very scared now, I walked slowly towards the living room and peeked towards the kitchen. It was dark in the kitchen as I did not turn on the lights. I slowly creeped towards the kitchen to turn on the lights just to see. There was nothing there. Thinking it was my mind playing tricks on me, I turned off the lights and made my way out of the kitchen just to hear sounds of girl humming now, but coming from the living room. When I turned out of the kitchen, I saw a lady in white with long black hair standing behind the living room curtain. I screamed, and with my heartbeat racing fast, I ran towards my room and shut the door, locking it instantly. While on my bed, I hear banging on my room door. It was insane, as if the banging was hard and loud. Suddenly, I hear the entity calling out my name. Followed by a laughter. I called my mom on my phone, crying, telling her what happened. She said she will send my auntie to come over. After a while, my auntie came over. I was with my auntie the whole night until my parents came back and I told them everything. On the next day, everything was fine, but the following day, which is a Thursday, there is a disturbance again. But this time, everyone was home, so I was in my room and there was banging on the house door. This time, my mom went to open the door just to see no one again. I went out to see where the sounds was coming from with my mom. What we saw was the same Pontianak at the window, knocking the glass and laughing. I screamed and closed my eyes, and my dad came out of the room soon, just to see all of us in a terrified state. The night itself, my father called an ustad, which is a Muslim priest. The ustad said there was a Pontianak in the house, and he tried his best to ask the entity to get out of the house. He said the ustads recommend us to pray frequently so that it is not easy for the entity to enter the house. Up to this day, I will forever remember the haunting experience with the Nenek Keropok. I should have not opened the door, but I did. Thank you for listening to Supernatural Stories. Please subscribe and press the bell button below not to miss any other episodes. Please like and share too, and thank you. Have a good night.